I recently met a lovely lady sailing down the west coast of Africa, and she loves lighthouses, so I'm going to make her a lighthouse, or I'm going to try to. This one's for you, Margaret. I'm going to start with this piece of maple bird's eye burl. It'll be the base. Kind of looks like rocks. Any piece like this starts out with a lot of algebra and some calculations to figure up the size of the wedges. And turns out this one's going to have about 800 pieces. Okay, here we go. We're going to bore this 2 1/8 inch hole so I can mount it in a chuck. You'll see in a minute. Okay, I'm going to use this chuck. I'm going to mount this on here. Get it nice and flat on there. Tighten this up. And what I'm going to do now is spin this so I can make this really flat and parallel to the back. This is quite a bit out of balance, so I'm not going to turn it very fast, but I'm just going to flatten the front of it. Turns out it's kind of spalted maple, it's kind of soft, so I'm going to flood the entire surface with this ultra thin super glue, and that will solidify it and allow me to turn it flat. Okay, this will make it really hard, and I have to do this quite a bit with the kind of wood I use. Okay, you can tell it's turning a lot better because it's hard, and I'm turning it a little bit faster. So you can tell where it's cut here and not here. So this is on an angle like this. That's what I'm trying to flatten out. Okay, now I'm going to turn this 2 1/8 inch hole in the front so I can flip this around, put it back in the chuck, and level the other side. Take out the middle part. Flatten it up. The flat carbide bit. While I've got it chucked up, I'm going to bore a hole in it in case I want to put a cord through it later, which I think I probably will. So I'll just do this till I get through. Okay, this is the wood we're going to use. This is a piece of mahogany, Oregon black walnut, Oregon ash, some African bloodwood, and some padauk. Does that look like a lighthouse? Okay, we're going to start with the walnut. I'm going to cut a strip the 1.5 inches. Need 16 feet of the sash. Okay, to get started, I've got to cut 24 of these little guys. This is a sliding jig I use to make segmented rings. Okay, here's the first ring, and I'm going to put glue on these, like this, and I'll be back when I have them all glued up. Okay, I got glue on all of them. Now, some magic. I'm just going to take this screw gun and the hose clamp and tighten it up. And it makes everything line up. And I'll just tap these down real quick. And And there we go. We got our first ring. Okay, there's our first 2 rings for the base of the lighthouse. So here are the 2 rings that are going to be the first part of the lighthouse, the base. So I'm going to flatten them out on this fabric. Okay, I'm going to glue these together. In this little clamp here. Oh, get that spread out good, and I want these joints to be split like on a brick. So like that. And that looks pretty good, looks pretty round. I'm going to put this guy on there. This, and I'm going to take this and screw it on here. Okay, get this nice and tight. Take a look in there and make sure it hasn't slipped, which it has. So I will loosen it up and redo it. Okay, get this nice and snugged up. Take a look in there and make sure that it's lined up, centered on each other, and the joint is split. So good. Okay, I've reset the jig here to 0.6 inches, and now I've got to cut 130 of these little babies. So we better get to it. Okay, I've got 14 of these rings to make, and I'm just going to glue them up like I did on the last one, and then get back to you when I'm done. Okay, I've got it all glued up. Hope I didn't skip any joints. I'll put this hose clamp on there again. And get it kind of tight, and get stuff lined up, and we'll let it dry. Okay, Margaret, there you go. Here's the base. These are 3 different segments that'll be glued together for the tower. All together are a little bit more than 300 pieces. This is walnut and that's ash. Let that dry for a little bit. Pretty cold in here, so I have it setting on this little heater to help it dry. I'm temporarily attaching these 3 segments to a faceplate with a little hot glue, just so I can true them up, so I can attach them to each other, and they'll be nice and round when I do it. It's kind of a long cylindrical shape, so it's got to be pretty straight. Okay, I've got it temporarily on here between, this is called the live center. This is a bearing with a point on it. So all I'm going to do now is just kind of true it up so I can mate it to the other pieces. Okay, number 2. Again, all I'm trying to do is round it up and turn the right end so it matches up to the last piece I turned. So this piece needs to fit on here, but I have to center it. So I've used this caliper and see how big that end is. And now I'm going to turn this end with this to match this exactly, so when I glue it on, it'll be centered. Sound like a plan? Don't have to do very much, just a little bit. Yeah, see how we're getting close. Ways to go. Okay, there we go. Just fits. Okay, last one. Long tool. Okay, about ready to glue stuff together, so I've got this one. That's a base, and then this one now lines up with the shoulder on that one, so it'll be centered pretty good. And this one will line up on that, and it'll be centered good. There you go. Okay, I'm using the lathe to clamp this centered, so the glue joint's right there. When that's dry for a few minutes, and I'll redo it there. Okay, we've got this glued up and ready to turn down. And so now we're going to just true this up a little. I'm not going to take much off. Okay, now it's time to give some shape to this tower. Okay, shape is starting to show up. I'm going to use these two sticks to, because I want that to be really straight from there and straight from here. So you can see I still got a little work to do. Need to sharpen my tool. Okay, there's the shape of the tower. Like any woodwork, a huge part of good work is sanding. So I spent a lot of time sanding. Okay, I've got this all finished and sanded. I'm going to bore a hole down the middle that I can run a cord through. I only have to do the top 3 layers. The rest is already hollow. Well, you'll be happy to know that this is a record. This is the smallest wedge piece I've ever cut. I got to cut 100 of these. So, wish me luck. They blow away. Well, see what happens. Okay, here's the first 24. And I got to glue them in here with a little plate on top. So, they're little. See what happens. Obviously not the right blade for these, but I'm just going to kind of rough cut them and finish on the disc sander. Okay, this won't take too long, and I just have to get it close because it's going to be turned down later. Okay, I've got a little bit of glue on this top disc or bottom disc, whichever it is. I'm going to try to put it on here without moving those little tiny things because they need to stay the same spacing. Okay, I'm going to tighten this up and leave it on there for 10 or 15 minutes. And believe it or not, this is not the hard part. The next 2 layers are the hard parts. Okay, I'm going to try to lift this out of here and hopefully they all come out. and stay on there tight. Come on. Oh, there you go. So that's one layer of the light, the Fresno light, I guess it is. Okay, gotta get some glue on these little tiny things. And then I gotta put it on top of that one and try to overlap it like bricks. So they're each overlapped halfway. See what happens. This is tiny. Okay, here we go. See what happens. Okay, I think I got them lined up. Clamp them down here. I think that'll work. I hope. Just gonna clean this up. This is going to be the walkway around the light, so I'm going to turn a little recess in here so this will kind of snap in there to glue in. Flatten this out. Okay, let's see. I think it's pretty close. Yep, snaps right in. There you go. Putting a little bit of detail on the bottom of this here. There you go. Hey, I think this is the last segment to cut. Part of the roof. It's African lacewood. There you go. I think it's all cut. Well, some way I managed to get it together. Now I just got to make sure I don't drop it. Okay, I'm gonna put the top on. A little bit of glue on there. And same thing. And then it'll be captive. And then I'll just turn that down so it looks good. Okay, to tell you the truth, I'm kind of afraid to turn this. It's just so fragile, so I'm going to try to get it straightened up here on this wheel. Okay, I'm going to turn a recess in here for this light piece to slip into. Using some little tiny tools now. The tool that I made out of a screwdriver. Okay, take some of this middle out. It's going really easy because this piece is only hot glued to the faceplate, and it doesn't stick real good to that. Okay, got that done, and so now this snaps right in there. So that's it. That'll be the light. And now I'm going to turn the walkway in here. Okay, here we go. That's kind of cool. Take a little piece of blue tape on there to set the depth so I don't go in too far. Okay, got all that turned. Looks like it works, so now some sanding. Won't bore you with this. This is actually the last piece I'm going to turn. This is the light. Looks like a oil filter off a car. And I'm going to this is the bottom of the roof. I'm going to make a recess so this will fit in there. Then I'll flip it around and turn the top. Okay, I got it all nice and true. I use this tiny little tool. Just flatten this middle out. Never going to be seen again, but I like to make things neat everywhere. You're not going to see it again. Okay, I think we got it. There you go. Now flip it around and do the top of the roof. Okay, got it flipped around. I'm going to put the pitch on the roof. It's kind of funny, I talk to Stan a lot about Harbor Freight tools and not to buy them and buy good ones, and to be honest, this is a Harbor Freight tool and I've used it for most of this. That's not what usually happens, though. Just for reference, this has taken about 2 minutes to put this pitch so far. But the tool is already getting a little dull. That's the Harbor Freight for you. Normally I'd be using mostly these. This is a Hurricane bowl gouge, which is really good. Closing in on the eaves here. Yeah, I've just about got it. Just using this flat carbide bit to get it real straight. Okay, I'm turning the very top of the roof here. Doing a 3/8" dowel here to attach it. And there you go. So that'll center it and hold it on there. Getting down to the nitty gritty here for the very top. Got to take this slow. This is going to be a sphere. Getting close. This is kind of a nerve-wracking thing. Okay, got it. Get it cut off now. Go. Little bitty guy. Okay, this is going to be base of the tower. So I'm going to do the same thing. Going to recess it across here so the tower will fit in. Okay, got this recess done, and this just fits in there really nice. Okay, here we go again, another recess, so I can put this tower base recessed into there. Now this is going slow, it's out of balance, so I'm turning it really slow, and you got to make sure your tool rest is tight. Not good. Okay, one more down. There you go. Close, last piece. And then one more recess after this. This is a plug for the bottom of the base. Okay, this is the last cut. This recess for the bottom plug. Okay, here's our plug that we made. I dished it out a little bit, thought that would look kind of cool. And it's going to go in like this. Don't want to put it in yet. But I checked the front and it fits nice and tight. So I think I'm good to go. Okay, here's one of the funnest parts is when you get to put the first coat of finish on it. And it just kind of transforms it. There you go. Alright, I'm going to turn you off for the rest of it. Okay, it's assembly time. Got the base, tower, light, and the bottom plug. And got a light, some cords. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to start with this 50 watt LED bulb. Should be pretty bright. Standard wiring. And we're going to put the other end down the tower and pull it out the bottom. Okay, we're going to put a little drop of this thick super glue. Obviously we got to put it through here, hopefully. There you go. And then we can put this on. Okay, got a little switch, inline switch. Okay, and if we got it right, there you go. And put the light on in the dark. This will have beams of light coming out. Okay. There you go. Think the ships could see that? Okay, last piece. Put our little bottom plug. Got a little CA glue on there. Push it in nice and flush. Little past flush. And there we go. We're done. Hope you like it.